Hey, you there! Thank you for watching, and welcome to Force Science Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1, also known as the Blue Team in the Northeast. Ending with Team 2, also known as the Red Team in the Southwest. Starting off with Team 1's regular side player, or at least in the backline, it is Swadoslav playing as a Seraphim. He is a 21-10 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 1. To his west, across that tiny little pond there, we have in Stage Blue, it is Sains. He is a UEF. He is a 1740 rated. And running out Team 1's lineup in the southeast is the Royal Blue player of Azuros playing as an Aeon. He is a 2024 rated player, 1 point short of the current year. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have an Aeon, a Seraphim, and a UEF. No Cybernetech for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's rear slot player, we have Moi. He is an Aeon. He is a 21-27 rated player. The highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. To his east, we have in Ruby Red, it is another Aeon. It is Excited with 2 X's. He is an 1891, almost a 1900 rated player. And last but not least, for Team 2 and the game overall in Chevy Crimson, blending in with this environment, we have Zio playing as a UEF. He is a 1942 rated. And again, he is in Chevy Crimson. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Aeons and a UEF. No Seraphim Tech, as well as no Cybern Tech, which means there are no Cybern players in this game. Apologies to those spiky space socialists. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And for these 6 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at, drumroll please, 15,000 massive reclaim, which makes it 2.5k thousand. Actually, it's just 2.5k, I guess. The K indicates 1,000. Anyway, taking a look at the major clumps, there is 1,700 next to that. There's 1,000, and of course 700 next to that. There's a couple of isolated 900s, 500s, that sort of thing, more towards the middle of the players' lineup. But there is, a small clumpage in the northwest and the southeast. Those clumpages, of course, are next to a decent amount of mexes. There's a 4-star mex. You can essentially just call this a 6-star mex position, essentially. There's also a 4-star mex, or quad mex, and a trimex position there. And a lot of one-offs dotted on the north here for Team 2 Zio to grab. And I don't know if I'll say that, the north is Team 1's and the south is Team 2. They're pretty much equidistant from each other. So we do see a drop inbound from Azuros. So a little bit of leaning to Team 2's southeastern corner. But you never know. There could be a counter drop, a land push, a whole bunch of stuff for Team 1 to grab there. We do see Team 2's player of Moi dropping in units as well, so we'll see who ends up. Well, no, maybe not. I thought he was going to drop it, but I guess he left, so never mind. Taking a look at where our players are headed off to in this game, we have 2 players for Team 2 and 1 for Team 1. Sorry, Team 2 just staying in their base, not hanging out on the front line as of yet. It is Excited and Moi moving into the east. Azuros for Team 1 is heading south. And we have both Swadoslav and Sains moving westward. So I would assume, and all of that coincide, of course, it is Zio that will probably leave. He is starting to make a little bit of work that way, but it will take a minute. And it will advantage Team 1, getting comms there sooner. And again, it's going to be 2v1, most likely. Yep, there is the command order moving northwest. So 2v1 in favor of Team 1 in the northwest. 2v1 in favor of Team 2 in the southeast. So I expect this kind of counter-clock movement where Team 1 grabs the west and Team 2 grabs the east sort of thing. We see a couple of T1 labs inbound from Azuros just to pepper and annoy Team 2's Moi. But he did get some PD online, and that will isolate a little bit of movement from Team 1. It's not an entire, closing off of that entire vector, but 50% or so at a minimum is pretty good. Northwestern corner, a little bit more contested. We have, those are the forces from Sains, I believe. Yep, and we have some engineers that dropped off from Swadoslav. So while Sains provides the muscle, Swadoslav will provide the infrastructure, which I would assume might just be the exact same situation on the front line. We do see Sane's going to grab these mexes here and then go for a T1 factory. And gun speed, interestingly enough, not starting range. Usually in a map like this, with the amount of players like this, it's usually range first, but I guess he just wants to blitz down some Team 1 units as fast as possible. And I will have a PSA. If you haven't seen the viewer-submitted cast yesterday, very, very good game. There's a little bit of, times in it that's a little... not as much action, which happened in every game, but the ending, the ending is just amazing. Flabbergasted. Somebody in the comments for that video said it was play of the year, not just play of the game. So, very, very good game. So, if you haven't gone and checked that out, please go ahead and do so. And if you have, might as well watch again. Why not? But anyway... Rain started here for Team 2. Is excited after doing his speed upgrade. Maybe he'll even just go straight advanced range or even shield. But we'll see what he ends up doing. We do see Mui trying to push back on the very, very, very far forward Team 1 facility here. We do see a couple of PD going to be built. One was built. So this will slow down Mui a tiny bit until he goes for range, and then he'll be fine. But of course, furfurs are a thing for Team 2, so... the T1 artillery units will definitely deal with those T1 PD quite nicely. Sensor package started here for Azuros. And he is 2v1, so if he gets pretty close to a lot of units or 2 comms or maybe even 1 comm, that might not work out for him. But giving the sensor package upgrade on his comm does mean that he gets a little bit more warning about what is nearby. T2 started here for Zio. Definitely a sensible choice going for a defensive upgrade, especially with 2 comms inbound, getting those T2 PDs online sooner rather than later, as well as TAC missiles and TMD as well. We do see another group of forces inbound to the northern expansion effort here for Swadoslav. The units from both players just completely missed them. We do see a couple of units still here, which should slow down the advance just enough to finish this Team 1 PD, and that will isolate that avenue there for a while. We do see a separate attack inbound from Zaya going after these mixes. They're a little bit less defended, and engineers trying to build them, and then engineers reclaiming engineers that were being built, not being built, but building stuff. And then we do see a nice little Lobo mixed in there as well. T2 also started for Team 1 on the western side. Gun started here for Zio, so offensive and defensive upgrades went down for him. And we do see Excited and Azuros. I don't think comm action happened just yet. Close in favor of Team 2, but Azuros does have the sensor package online, and he can see them. That is the range of the upgrade on this map. Definitely a huge portion of that Houston approach. We do see Moy, again, doing a little bit more work pushing in. He did go for the range upgrade. That'll be more than enough to deal with the Team 1 PD. The blazes that are stacking up there will definitely wish that they weren't there. And we see a couple of units inbound from the middle from Sains. TAC missile started for the UEF commander of Zio, so T2 gun and TAC. Possible snipe opportunity is emerging. I have seen players with very, very good accuracy and predictions on the TAC missile, location that they need to launch it at so they can kill a comm. Anyway, range started on the eastern side here for Azuros. T2 also started on board Sains comm. So we have T2 almost done for Swadoslav. T2 started for Sains. So both of them going for, looks like more defensive upgrade, but maybe they'll just PD creep. That is an entire, possibility. We'll see if it actually happens or not. And Zero's almost done with his upgrade in the east. Team 2 has excised Team 1 in the southeastern corner. So now it is Team 2 in the south and then Team 1 in the north. We do see Swadoslav is done with his T2 upgrade. Gun is started also, or done for Azuros. He has some blazes inbound to beat back all the Team 1 Aurora. They are tinfoil for a reason. Not a lot of hit points, but have a little bit more range. TAC missile also started for the UEF commander of Sain. So we have possible Billy Nuke competitors in this game. And we'll see if that ends up happening or not. And I forget which cast it was. Maybe it was a week ago. But somebody made a comment about the names of an upgrade that I did not catch. And man, was I sad that I did not catch that name of the upgrade. So if somebody builds the upgrade, I will let you know. I'll keep you in suspense for a while. But 2 UEF commanders, the likelihood is decent. northeastern corner. More Blazes dealing with Tinfoil Aurora. Again, the Blazes aren't known for their damage. They're known for their versatility in their momentum, their movements with the hover tech on board, as is all T2 hover tanks, or, Wagner's, because they don't have hover. We have a nice little Titan in the huge middle of Team 1's, situation here. And Titan will do a decent amount of damage to all these engineers fanning out for reclaim. We're just kind of hanging out. T3 air done for Team 1, T3 air done for Team 2. Definitely to be expected on a map like this. Missile outbound from Sains, going after Zio. Actually, no, not going to go after Zio, going past Zio and going for backline mexes. Ooh, is that going to land on that T2 mex? Yes, it will, and that is 6 masses. Actually, no, going for the Pigeon. Excuse me. Man, I cannot line up my tac missiles for some reason. Zio pushing it against Sains. That probably would have been a perfect opportunity to go for a tac missile, at least hit, dealing tons of damage. But you don't want to just let your opponent know that you have that upgrade on board, so I do understand that's a hesitancy there. TMD is really a buzzkill this game, and it does not allow the mechs for Team 2 to be eliminated, which it's doing its job, but still. Tac missile outbound from Zaya, going after mexes to the east. Titan's still running amok here in the northwestern corner. Looks like it went west instead of east, and that Titan is eventually dealt with. Gun started for Sains on board his comm. But more Titans down the middle as well from Team 2, and it does look like they can just traverse this right here, which is very not useful for Team 1's little wall section there. Strap Bomber inbound from Team 2's Mui as well, so lots of aggression going down in the middle of Team 1's lineup. We do see it is going to hit the Parashield. Parashield will protect the mechs for now, and I would not be surprised to see an ASF inbound to deal with said bomber, but a bomber drops another payload, killing off another one T2 mex, I should say. And another bomb inbound, gonna shock Team 1's backline. Kills off the Pigeon and the mechs. Nice 2-for-1 combo there. ASF, gonna get shot off screen. That bomber should be fine. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, bomber is fine. Gonna launch another payload at Team. Oh, no, it's not gonna drop another payload. That's kind of weird. You would think, oh, ASF's. Are you going to be able to... Oh, yep, you killed off that ASF again. Moy, you got, well, how many hit points on board? 1,000 and climbing. Bomb inbound, going to drop another payload on that T2 mex. That's 2 T2 mex is dead. That one rebuilds almost immediately. And we have interceptors from Team 1's Azuros to come and assist, and they cannot kill it off before the mex is eliminated, but at a minimum, they do end its reign of terror. Definitely worth the mass that was... thrown together for that bomber, and I don't expect another one to be built, at least soon, from Team 2. It's the early bomber. It is nice to see. It's very rare now, just because of the way that FAF developers have changed all the costs and whatnot, and how everything gets built and all that stuff. It's been nerfed, so it's not as good as it originally was. But hey, that was a little OP of a strategy. You just rush T3 bomber and then just go, and that's the game, and then it's not fun. But in this case, where that doesn't happen pretty much at all anymore, it's kind of nice to see all those other units that we do love to see, and structures, not just all units. Swatoslav, T2, Sainsro, gun, T2, and missile. Zio, same upgrades. He's actually taking a hit, possibly from, I would assume, maybe some missiles. Maybe, is there a T2 artillery in here? Yeah, there is our T2 artillery, so maybe from that. We do see that Sains is going to be the damage dealer, at least for the comm for Team 1, while Swatoslav, again, is still building up infrastructure there. They are sharing a shield, so to get some PD, some TMD. There's one TMD in there, okay. No missiles, but I guess they're using the comms for that, so that's fair. Advanced range on the eastern side here for Azuros. Getting a lot of blazes to send eastward. Maybe he wants to reclaim that base down in the southeast. Eco situation is favoring the red team, Team 2 at 300 versus Team 1's 260-ish, so about 50 or so mass in favor for Team 2. Nothing too crazy, but it does make a difference nonetheless. Sains is at 11,000 hit points. Cannot be sniped by a missile just yet, and Zio is at 11,000 as well, so both players have to drop a little bit. Missile outbound. Will it hit? It will. Nice grab there. It does not kill off the comm of Zio, but will have to force him back because there is a nice little pillar inbound, and not just a pillar of units, but actual pillars, the named units. Inbound missile going after Sainscom. He misses, and this will be the first kill of the game. Sains is going to go for it. Another missile just to seal the deal, and it doesn't matter. Nice kill there by Team 1. Opened up with the TAC missile and ended with the T2 tanks and the comm. And this game is now a 3v2 in Team 1's favor at almost 18 minutes on the clock. Team 2 is skyrocketing in the eco. They're almost, actually, well, they keep hovering maybe 100, about 80 or so mass income more than Team 1. So giving another player a base, again, not the best idea, especially at one that's 21, 27 rated. But that does cut the APM by a third. So it does make a huge dent in the more longer matches where you have, 45 minutes, an hour, where exhaustion, frustration, all the, annals of playing this game just kind of weigh on you. Again, higher rated players are more used to it, of course, but it does tug on the mind nonetheless. We do see a land attack inbound, more Titans inbound from Team 2. And we do see that gunships try to thwart that incoming advance. They do kill off most of the Titans, but not all of them, and there is a Percy there, so that will do the rest of the damage there. I wouldn't be surprised if Mui falls back and goes to the western side to micro those forces there, essentially making it a 1v1 instead of a 2v0 and a 2v1. So Team 1 has a huge opportunity to maybe just push all the way to Zio's old base if they decide to do so. There's no calm microing this, and again, you have Mui over here, he's doing stuff over here, then he has to scroll over here, you gotta do stuff over here, and then he has to scroll over here. Like, that takes time, and the more non-actions that players perform, the less actions they actually perform, and the more stuff that technically the other team does. Again, theoretically, you can't really track APM. It's a very, very, very difficult thing to even comprehend. There's so many factors. One being time, like time of day, and what time did you wake up? What'd you do that day? That sort of thing. Lots of factors that go into that. Anyway, Zeros and Excited both have shield on board. The only difference is Excited has regular shield, range, and speed. Azeros has advanced regular shield and sensor. And again, there are some sniper bots mixed in here for Excited as well. So Azeros a little bit outranged by those, not outranged by the comm. We do see a couple of harbingers inbound. Maybe they're trying to get those snipers to come say hi. Azeros overcharging the shield on board Excited's comm. We do see a little bit of a Team 1 interceptor fight in the air. Nothing too consequential due to the fact that T3 ASFs are the main stage. A couple of restorers running around for Team 2's Mui, and again, he has, I would say, air control 100%, but he does have more ASF built. And we do see a lot of mechs starting to bite the dust there. And another one gone, and another one gone, and another one bites the dust. Those restorers are going to get that one too. Another one bites the dust. A little dad joke there. Anyway, we have Sains 10,000 mass killed, 5-star vet. Swattlesop 3 mass killed. No veterancy for him yet. And those restorers have definitely paid for themselves. That's 18 mass a second plus, let's say, the ringing. So 27 mass a second plus maybe this one didn't get ringed, so 33. Plus all the ASFs that were killed off. It does look like I did miss more of the ASF engagement. Apologies for that. It does look like Team 1 Swattlesop did win that fight. But again, the restorers will deal with the remaining ASF from Team 1. So essentially it's just a clean slate now for the two air players. Again, a little bit maybe leaning towards Team 1 now, but not by much. Team 1 still lacking in the eco, 270 to 330. That is, I guess, definitely going to be a clawing back for Team 2, Team 1, especially with losing Max is not helping the situation at all. With gaining back that slight advantage they had earlier in the game. Azeros is hit for a lot of damage, drops to the almost the red, but a little over 25%. And we do see some AA nearby for him. Definitely saves his life. He would have been sniped there if it wasn't for that. So PSA, get AA near your comm, get it near your experimentals, get it near your large T3 land forces, just get it near everywhere. Just anti-air everywhere. It doesn't matter what it is. Well, for the most part, it doesn't really matter what it is. Just get it and get it everywhere. Excited still pushing, and look at this. It's 1v1, a little bit of assistance from Mui, but it's mainly just been Excited pushing back Azuros. Team 2 is Excited doing a very good job of just essentially just being consistent. It's just a little bit of a push, and then a little bit of a push, and then a little bit of a push. And he's not trying to full send it. I have seen that a lot of times where players just full send it into the base. They do decent amount of damage, but then it's kind of like Risk, where if you send your army and you just rampage the entire, continent, and now you've left one unit in every not sector, sections, whatever you want to actually call what they're actually called in the game. Then another army from another player can do the exact same thing and just rampage you because you only have one defender per zone, maybe? I think they're called zone. I don't even know what. I mean, just sections of the map. I mean, they're not countries because they actually encompass either several countries or some part of a country or whatever. But 23 minutes on the clock. Team 1 at 320 mass income. Team 2 at 413, 410. So let's say about 90 mass in favor for Team 2. Team 2, again, has lost the only player of the game. There's a Zio to that TAC missile assistance. And map control is about 50-50, but I do think it is going to probably stay roughly the same as Team 1 pushes west and Team 2 pushes east. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to come and win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. But if you haven't done so already, please do so. And Saints Row is defeated. That's why I was trying to rush so much, but I just tripped over my words incredibly, just badly. Saints is defeated by Mui. Drops this game now to a 2v2 to take that in stock of who you think is going to win this game. It is now essentially 1v0 on the west. We do see Mui over here. He's not really engaging with his comm. It is 1v1 in the east. Raz has been started on board Swatoslav's comm, so he's going more for resources, so he probably won't engage the front line. So it's just going to be 0v0 over there on the west, and then 1v1 in the east with Mui kind of hanging out. We'll see where he ends up going. Maybe he's going back to base. It kind of looks... Oh, no, he is going west. Look at that. He is going to go westward, so it might actually be 1v1. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Apologies for all of the discombobulation with that. I was watching the game, and I'm like, that doesn't look good for Saiyans. Hopefully I can finish my little halftime report shenanigan thing, and almost dead before he died. You see those Percys continue to push, and again, the threat of the Percy is very, very, very real. Even if you're UEF, even if you have shields nearby, even if you have an experimental nearby, Percys can, if there's enough of them, one-tap. But again, 1,000 of anything will kill anything, but especially Percys. Smaller numbers are required to one-tap stuff. Azuro's pushing in, getting some more veterancy. Actually, he can't anymore. He's at 5 stars. Same with Excited, so no additional hit points or regen for either of those comms. Oh, you gotta love to see the Absolvers be used. Very, very good unit. They deal a lot of shield capacity damage. Look at that. The entire shield capacity on that Harbinger is dead, and that'd be really good against the comms shielding, which I don't think you can actually hit because the capacity isn't fully charged yet, or it isn't, it's not actually activated. So maybe the Absolver can't just keep reducing the shielding? Maybe that's how it works. So, like, once it's offline until it comes back online, the Absolver is kind of useless. But it is a very good unit to just chew through thousands of hit points of shielding. That'd be a nice little experiment to run. I do think that's true. I think the shield has to be actually activated for the Absolver to work. We do see Excited still pushing. He has lost almost his entire shield. Now he's lost his entire shield, and he's taking whole plating hit points. Azuros has to fall back a little bit over 50%. Western side, Team 2 is winning it. So both fronts are going in Team 2's way. Eco situation pulling away from them. So by all accounts, besides losing a comm, and it's 2v2, Team 2 doing a very, very good job. Team 1 is now on the defensive in both lanes. And gun has been started on board Swatoslav. He actually gets rid of his Ras. He's like, no, I have to fight on the front line. And that's he's probably going to go for Nano right after that. No, he's going to go for Splash, getting rid of his T2 upgrade. So he is possibly going for just max damage. He has to go for Nano. There's no way he doesn't. I mean, if you're going to go for Splash, you might as well go for Nano at that point. Eastern side, Combi-Com action still occurring. Azuros' shielding still hasn't... Oh, it's come back. Okay. But there it goes. It was there, and now it's gone. And Harbingers and the combo of Excited focusing down the comm. It's not looking good for Azuros. Was that a strap on there? Oh, something. And Azuros dropping below 2,500 hit points. needs to get out of there immediately or he is going to die. And again, he can't gain just the bulk of hit points with a veterancy. He is stuck at what he has, 1,500 hit points and falling. And I think this is the end of Azuros. 600, 500. Are they going to let him get away? Maybe, maybe not. Is excited to have he does not have advanced range, which means Azuros is actually operating in a better position than Excited is for the comm. Another bomber over top for Team 2's Excited, trying to kill off the comm. Barely staying alive, 1,000 hit points. But there's a large army inbound. Team 1 does not have the infrastructure or anything really on the ground to defend against this. That's going to be a win for Team 2, regardless of how much actual damage they do. That is more and more territory lost for Team 1. Northwestern corner PD build up to excise Team 1 from this little quad mix position. Ravager, TMD, T1, T2, T3 PD. Gotta love the grouping there. Shield is down. Not that helpful, but it does look like it's going to go down or actually back up here shortly. And eastern side, again, the Zeros has to be careful. Doesn't have huge regen numbers as all the other factions just because he can't literally get nano because the Aeons don't get that upgrade. Western side, Percy v Percy fight. Team 2 has the numbers for now. Titan's also in there to add access a little bit of cannon fodder. Lots of ASFs. More for Team 1 Swadoslav than Team 2's Mui. That might be a vector where Team 1 can come back in this game because eco situation favoring Team 2. 350, 550 for Team 2. Land territory definitely favoring Team 2. Now there's the nano upgrade that's been started. Probably will go advanced nano after he's done with the regular one. And Azuros, again, needs to be very, very careful. His shielding is back online, so that gives him another 8,000 hit points. But with the Absolvers on the front line, if they're still actually there, not going to go well for that shielding by any means. Bombers over the top just to take off a little bit of hit points, but nothing too crazy. He's now dropping to 6,000 on board his shielding. He still has it online, but again, he's being very, very... not to say aggressive, but just being very, very particular about it. Does look like he accidentally started to attack Missile Swadoslav and then goes for advanced nano. He's going to get on the transport, and I'm assuming he's going to go try to snipe a comm, and I'm assuming out of the two comms, it's going to be Excited. He doesn't know where Team 1's comm is over here, Team 2's Moist comm over there to the west. They do know where Excited is, so oh, that is not the right button. That is probably going to be his aim there. So once that's done, he's going to drop in. Maybe get it. He's probably going to get the kill. Will he get out of there? Maybe. But it is going to be an attempt nonetheless. We have ASF flying over top of this base. Don't know what they're doing. PD creeping a little bit to kill off more mexes for Team 1. Extending Team 2's lead beyond 200. Now it's about 250. We have, again, more units still pushing on that western side. And Excited is not letting up. He's continuing to just shove it down Azuros' throat. He has a lot of spam here, as well as, mainline, Harbingers, shielding, sniper bots. I don't see the Absolvers anymore. Kind of surprised he's not building more of them. That is the unique unit, one of the unique units to the Aeon. Are there sniper bots still? Yeah, I do not see Absolvers in the mix, but I could just not be seeing the icon because I'm just blind. And again, it's a Chevy Crimson map, and he's red. It's a little bit easier to see, but still a little bit difficult nonetheless. Hopefully everybody is able to see everything and whatnot. Transport. Oh, it's right there. And Swadoslav is moving southward. I don't know where he's going. Looks like he's going there. I am surprised he didn't go for the snipe, maybe because there's too much AA in the area, maybe. There's a lot of teeth per units here. He would have to be a little bit of an uphill battle there. He has no veterancy on board, so he would gain a little bit more hit points. But even then, okay, here we go. Transport is picking up the comm. Where is he going? Are you going to where you think you're going? Or I think you're going. Let's see. And no, not immediately. He's going home. Or he's on his way back. ASF's engaging the ASFs from Team 2's Mui, and it looks like he will win that fight pretty well, I would say. And Transport, is going home. Maybe he's going to hold back and maybe kind of hook around the eastern edge and then come in right here if the Team 1 still sees him. There are some spy planes nearby, so maybe if Team 2 saw that, they'll know he gets off the Transport just in case. Looks like he's going to wait a minute. Is there any comments by Team 2? No. There are no comments. I would assume there's a lot of comms. I mean, given the high rating that this game is, I would be very surprised if there isn't. We haven't seen a lot of conversation in the chat. A little bit, but for, 32, 33 minutes, and these are the main things I see are the, donating mass or the upgrades or all that stuff. That essentially tells me there's definitely some comms going on, which is, like I said, to be fair, that's to be expected. Same pointed out by Zio, saying, hey, get some AA nearby. Air loss, says Zio. Yeah, that's definitely a smart thing to say. Transport now going westward to protect the western base. Oh, there's such a snipe opportunity over there. But it's excited. Did fall back. He's not microing his forces and his comm on the front line. Just being a little bit protective of that. 33 minutes. Surprised there isn't a Colossus online, but to be fair, there's been a lot of forces been built, a lot of back and forth. Colossus is started for Excited, so we do see that. And Fatboy also started for Moy. Team 1. No experimental appearance yet from Swadoslav or from Azuros. And he does get some Percy assistance over here, so that actually will help out a lot. A lot of firepower brought to bear here from the western side from Team 1. That should help out a decent amount on defenses. There's just so many Harbingers, though, and their sniper bots, parashields, and asylums. Where are you? Definitely need to have you guys over there. Heavy shield being built on board Moy's comm just to protect himself, giving an additional 17,000, making it almost an even 30k hit points. Northwestern facility will be wiped out here shortly. It's been excised in terms of the main PD emplacements. The spearheads, again, very, very useful unit in that regard. We have engineers reclaiming everything else. There's one T2 PD that's really much of a concern. That spearhead will not die, but the Team 1 PD is closing in, so definitely a concern there nonetheless. And Team 1 holding back a decent chunk of the eastern forces. If that Colossus finishes, which it probably will here shortly, I have one of two ideas of where it's going, and I would assume it's going over here. Oh, transport. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Swadoslav is inbound. Is he going to drop? He's going to drop next to Azuros, it looks like, and they are going to push together this eastern side. Looks like the western side's a little bit more dealt with, I guess. He's going to focus on this eastern approach. And Excited is going into the water, so he does not get sniped by any sort of nonsense. There is Swadoslav, and he is going to push Nano, Gun, and Splashes on board. He's going to have a lot of firepower to bear, and he's going to get a lot of veterancy because he's killing off a lot of... well, he will soon be killing off T3 forces. The Zeros is falling back. His shield is taking the hit, so nothing too crazy there. And those Percys did a huge amount of... and Titans did a huge amount of work helping out this eastern front. And I'm assuming because Moy will see this, maybe he's going to push a little bit on this western side now. If they notice that Swadoslav is there, that sort of thing. Back. Oh, he was gone. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's back now. Do you have mass? Says Excited. He does not. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Tiny smidgen. Not a lot, though. Shield heavy started on board as Urus is coming. Gives him a tiny bit of a break so he can get an additional 17,000 hit points on board. And Swadoslav leading Azuros' forces. I feel like those essentially should be just handed back over. But, all that because they originally were Swadoslav. Actually, they were originally probably Sains. But probably all those Percys died before they were transferred over. But anyway, Titans and Percys ignoring the fire base here. There are some Percys moving in to intercept the wall section, I would assume, or they're just going to go conga lining it up the little mountainside there. But look at the pushback from Team 1, Swadoslav. Where is that Colossus? It is almost done. About to tick over into the green, the stupid 99,999 hit point nonsense instead of the 100,000 hit point nonsense. Swadoslav getting a little bit more resistance now. They're killing up a lot of the Team 1 spam facilities. There's actually a T3 mixed in there as well. He's being a little bit careful, which is probably a smart idea. He is on, let's say, his own. He doesn't have ASF overhead, but no, there's not like a large land army nearby. And the shield is at 57%. We do see Moise is at 84. 37 minutes on the clock. Excited finishes that Colossus. First one of the game, that is land experimental. And it is inbound to the eastern front. Where else would it go? Unless it went maybe northward. That'd be definitely a surprise. There is that Fat Boy over here as well, so maybe not. 37 minutes on the clock. Not looking too good for Team 1's western front. The eastern side looking better, of course, now. The only problem is that will he regret moving over here and not putting more attention over here? That is the question. Fat Boy has been started. It is in the yellow, over 25% done. But that firebase will be eliminated here shortly. There's nothing you can do about that. No T3 not T3 air for UEF tech for Team 1. I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity for the gunships. Nuke is built. 38 minutes on the clock. That might be the game right there. Is there an SMD? Nope. Nope. 38 minutes, no SMD. Does Team 2 have an SMD, to be fair? No, and wow, no SMD for either team. And again, ladder, it's less likely. It still happens, but it's less likely that the nuke or any of that stuff pops up. And then there's games where all the things pop up, so it's kind of a weird mixed bag ladder. Fat Boy pushing in, ASF's guarding the troops on the ground, but there's a little bit of AA nearby. Once that nuke fires, we know one of two places. I would assume it's either going to go for the air grid in the northeast, eliminating more ASF producing stuff, or it's going to eliminate Azurus' base, essentially knocking out the entire eastern front, and maybe causing a teleport out, see you bye kind of situation. Oh, it's low at 75% more. Ooh, it's closing in. I can feel the walls closing in on Team 1. The western side is essentially gone. There's a little bit left, but the defenses are gone. There's still a little bit of PD and a couple of units left, but the Fat Boy really pushing forward. And even if they build Team 1 and T2 PD, the Fat Boy will outrange it. Not really a worry in the world for Mui on that western front. Nuke is about loaded. Zio says 60% GC. Where is Team 2's GC? Right there. It looks like Sainz is on. Not Sainz. Swadoslav is on a transport headed somewhere. And Excited finishes another experimental. Another GC is done. So it's 2v0 on that front. Fat Boy was denied, it looks like. So it's 1v0 on that front. Nuke will actually, no, there's no Fat Boy there. Will the nuke fire immediately? You might just want it. There it goes. It's going to fire immediately. You got to love that animation. It looks great. And then the little bell saying, hey, there is a nuke launch. There is the nuke, and there it goes. And it is going, and it's going for Azurus' base. Yes, it's going to collapse the eastern front. Even if the Colossus finishes, it's going to take a lot of damage. And 40 minutes on the clock. I think Team 1 knows it's pretty much over. There's still a non-zero chance that Team 1 can win this thing. But that nuke sailing overhead, not going to help the numbers at all. We have a couple of Nathas inbound going after the Fat Boy. And they'll do some damage to the shield, but it won't take it out entirely. Transport inbound with Swatoslav's comm on board. He's going to be a little bit bold with that, but kaboom! GC finishes, doesn't get out of range. And why me? I already have nothing. There's the zeros. Well, in my mindset, it's either you go for the air, which is definitely a sensible position, or you go for the eastern player of Azuros, who's holding it roughly, and knock that out. Any chance of maybe some continued resistance. The western side is already collapsed. You don't have to worry about that. So then the eastern side collapses, and then that's it anyway. My GC escaped. It escaped, but it took a lot of damage on the way out. So, a 1v1 fight. Team 2 is going to win that fight. 2v1, Team 2 is definitely going to win that fight. So, it's the beginning of the end. I think that one nuke is probably going to be more than enough. He is going to build a load another one, because why not 41,000 mass? Does seem a little bit low for what he killed off, but, I mean, he did put it a little bit more west. He could have gone maybe for more of the mexes, maybe. But at the end of the day, the infrastructure, all of the T3 land is gone. That's all that he has left is these Percies that were donated over the Harbingers and the very, very weak GC with, again, the stupid 99,999 hit point nonsense. That probably bothers me more than anything else, that, especially nowadays. why I can't just... I mean, maybe it's just a meme at this point that it just doesn't have 100,000 hit points. And if that is the case, that's fine. I accept that. Still annoying, but I accept that. But just give the boy 1 HP. Like one day I'll see a patch note where it's like added 1 HP because one caster would not stop complaining about it. And we just did it so he would just shut up about it. One day maybe. Anyway, we have Excited going back to his base and going in the water there. And then Mori's obviously been in that pond for a while now. Didn't realize that he left. So he says back there. And then it says no comment about any of that. So he must have said it in comms. The attack has slowed down just a tiny smidgen. There is now 2 Fat Boys online for Swaddlesoft, so he's mounting some sort of defense. But again, look at the territory he's operating on. And the Eastern Territory, I mean, it is slowly just going to collapse. T2 land is done, going for T3 land, of course, but it's going to be a little bit of time before he gets more Harbingers online. He could just send the GCs in and be done with it. Team 2 is Excited, could just full send it, call it a day, no big deal. And we'll see if he ends up doing that or not. He's being a little bit, hesitant, which is fair. You don't want to be overly aggressive and overextend and completely just ruin yourself. But obviously the benefit of all vision and all that stuff is that we're able to see everything all at once, everything everywhere all at once, that sort of thing. Second nuke is almost loaded, and I have one idea where it's going. Yeah, that SMD is not going to load in time. There's an SMD over here. That's not going to load in time. And no SMD here, of course. That's obviously not going to load in time. Air fight. There probably will be one more before the game is out. And those 2 Fat Boys are doing a little bit of work and pushing back Team 2. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough on the western side. There's a lot of land support. There's another Fat Boy inbound. I'm assuming there's another GC being built. Team 2 is Excited, is loading his own SMD just in case Team 1 decided to go nuke themselves, which they did not, but you never know. And now we have Swadoslav back on the transport, moving in. Fight with your comms, says Swadoslav. I think he's going to go out in a nice last huzzah. Or huzzah? I think it's huzzah. 44.5 minutes on the clock. We've had 2 deaths in the game. 1 before 20 minutes and 1 after. And it's, again, still a 2v2. It's been a long time before or since we've heard a calm death. Swadoslav finishes another experimental number 3 Fat Boy online for him. He is doing a pretty good job of pushing back the land support, but now the Fat Boys are coming in. And that is going to favor Team 2, like I said. Even if both Fat Boys for Team 2 are dead, this Eastern Front is probably a more pressing issue, which is why he's probably dropped his comm off here. GC is back up to 32,000. So, yeah, it's regen 3,000 hit points, which is better than nothing. Is he going back on the transport again? No, he does get officially dropped off. Oops, says Moy. Looks like he maybe did that by accident. 1 Fat Boy is dead. 2nd Fat Boy will here soon die. 3rd Fat Boy is going southward. And PD are coming into range, or the Fat Boy coming into range of the PD, but they want to kill off the Fat Boy, so don't blame them there. Both Fat Boys over there are dead for Swadoslav, leaving just this lone one going southward. And I think both players on Team 1, I think they know. I really do. That 2nd nuke should be firing here shortly. Has not fired yet, surprisingly enough, but maybe they're just waiting out the SMD. It's not loaded. That one isn't loaded as well, so sooner he fires it, the better. But I don't think... Maybe he'll save it. Who knows? It would be not the worst thing to just not fire it because you don't need to. But again, what's the point in building it when you don't fire it? One of the worst things is to load a nuke, load 2, load 4, and have the silo blow up and never use them. It's a travesty, I tell you. It's a travesty. Bombers inbound, again, going after the weaker of the 2 GCs. This one was, the brother is newly minted right off the assembly line. Western side is gone. There is nothing coming back there. And Excited says, lol, and then Zio says back, run. Talking about the GCs. Again, I don't think that matters. Even if Team 2 lures him away, there's still a huge army up here to the north. So it's either Team 1 wins this Eastern Front but then loses the game, Team 1 falls back and still have to deal with this and maybe lose the game there, The nuke comes in. Run. Yeah, he's like, yeah, taunt. He's like, they know they're going to lose. They know it. Swaddle control K as he can see the trend. So that's not a kill, but especially at the end of the game, that's, again, like I said, not a big deal. He's going to go out in a blaze of glory nonetheless. I feel like he should have just died to GC. I feel like that would have been a little bit better. Nuke is outbound. There's the nuke from Mui. Number 2. ASF over the top. This SMD is probably going to die here. Wow, look at all those attack order commands. And it's in. Oh, that's just mean. Is he going for Azurus' base again? Oh, that's mean. Oh, that's and he builds a satellite. That's like, oh, that's a little mean there. Not the satellite, the nuke. Oh, I'm sorry, Azurus. You just got bullied by nukes today. I apologize. GC gonna kill off one GC. Second GC for Team 2. Gonna kill off the first one. Another GC is built. This is the second GC that's gonna be baked in. Holy nuclear fire! There it goes. Kaboom! Azurus' base is no longer, or at least the original base is no longer active. And there goes Azurus' comm being just surrounded by GC and Harbingers and whatnot. That is a kill for Excited. Team 2 wins the game. 48 minutes, almost on the dot. And that is a win. Like I said, it was just a situation where once the Western side collapsed, there really wasn't much that Team 1 had. The nuke was like, yeah, no, we're ending this game now, is essentially what Mui did there. MVP, I mean, you gotta... I don't know. Excited did a very good job on this Eastern front. I gotta give him props to that. Mui did as well on this Western front. And the nuke was the opening salvo for sure, and the last just final continued push. It is difficult to say whether or not I would give it to Mui or Excited. Definitely both players, are up there for deserving it. I just don't really know which one. Some games it's pretty clear. Some games it's not clear. I think this is one of those games where, especially players that last for the entire match, that's a 48, 45 plus minute match, and that team wins as well, unless one player was just alive and didn't really do a whole lot, which obviously wasn't the case here. It's really hard to pick. So let me know down in the comments who you would pick. Thank you so much for watching to the very end of the video. I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.